Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. What we're going to cover today is BB.7. This is a really important one, and I actually think you're going to find this to be really easy. You're going to go, oh, really? This is it? So what we're doing is solving. We're solving quadratics, and the title of BB.7 is actually solving quadratics using zero product property. I like to call it solving it in factored form. So we're still doing the same thing we did last lesson, BB.6. We're still trying to find where your parabola is hitting the x-axis. So we're trying to find your two x-intercepts, okay? So we're doing it algebraically. Okay, so let me see. Solving for x-intercepts algebraically. Okay. So we're just looking for our x-intercepts. Now remember, guys, you can have two x-intercepts. You could have one x-intercept, and that would be where the vertex happens to hit it just once. So it would be one x-intercept. And you could have no x-intercepts, and that would, would be where your parabola doesn't hit it at all. Now, all of these could be facing down as well. I'm just giving examples of them facing up. So what's going to be really nice about this is that they're already going to be factored. So check it out. And I'm going to explain the zero product property when we get to this example. So you can see this is already factored. Do not FOIL. Do not. Okay, that will make your life hard. What we're going to do is we're going to branch off. So I like to make a little T-chart. Okay. So because they say this quantity times this quantity equals 0, what that means is one of these or both of these have to equal 0. That's the only way for this equation to work out, because 0 times something equals 0. That's the property of 0. That's why it's called the property of 0. So what you're going to do is you make a branch, a T-chart, right where they're being multiplied, and you simply just rewrite each little polynomial, x minus 4, and set it equal to 0. And then I'm going to set this side equal to 0, x plus 2 equals 0. And then all you do is solve. So for example, on the right-hand side, I would just subtract 2, so x would equal negative 2. On the left-hand side, I would add 4, so x would equal positive 4. Those are your answers. That's it. Seriously, that's as hard as it gets. So let me go ahead and scroll down. Let's do another one. All right, so you make your T-chart right where the two polynomials are being multiplied, and you just take each equation, set it equal to 0. So it's x minus 5 is 0. So that means I'm going to add the 5 over, so x is equal to 5. On the right-hand side, I'm going to say x minus 1 equals 0. Add the 1 over, so x equals 1. That's it. Let's clear it. Let's go down. Okay, why don't you guys try these two on your own and then push play when you're ready. So make your T-chart. And then you have y plus 9 equals 0. Subtract your 9, y equals negative 9. And then you have y minus 1 equals 0. Add your 1, so y equals 1. That's it. Make our T-chart on the right-hand side. Isn't this great? This is solving what's in a factored form. Now, you guys already know the hard part is when it's not factored and you have to factor it yourself. But you already have the skills of factoring. We passed that chapter. We're beyond it. So y plus 6 equals 0, so that means y equals negative 6. And then y plus 8 equals 0, so that means y equals negative 8. So maybe in your head you're like, wait a minute, Ms. Cunningham, they're just the opposites. So for example, I see plus 9 here, so my answer is negative 9. I see negative 1, so it's 1. I see a negative 6, or excuse me, so I see a positive 6, negative 6, positive 8, negative 8. They are opposites when you don't have a coefficient in front, okay? Now on my next examples, I'm going to have a coefficient in front, and that's going to change things, okay? So for example, my answer here is not negative 14 because this 2 is going to affect it. So yes, you can use the opposite shortcut, but only when your coefficient here is 1. In this case, it's going to be different. So 2y plus 14 is 0. 2y equals negative 14. So y equals negative 7. On this side, it would be 3y minus 9 is 0. So 3y equals 9. So y equals 3. All right, why don't you try this one? Push play when you're ready. Okay. So you would simply go 7x minus 5 is 0. So let's see, 7x equals 5. So x equals 5 divided by 7. This would be 2x minus 1 is 0. So 2x equals 1. X equals 1 over 2. You divide by 2. Okay, so there is a little shortcut here. You can take the opposite of this number and divide by this number. This would be 1/2. This would be 5/7. This would be 9/3, which is 3. And this would be negative 14/2, which is negative 7. So that's a shortcut you can take. You know, honestly, these are so easy. Sometimes the shortcut's just not worth it because really just don't miss it. Okay, so now let's get into our IXL. So this would be BB.7. So let's get down there and practice some. I hope you guys enjoy this one and embrace it and don't make it too hard. Okay. Of course, I didn't give an example like this in the notes, so this is very important. Okay, so if we make our little T-chart, this one's a very good one. I'm glad this one came up right off the bat. So my two equations, and I'm going to write it below, it would be C equals, that's just a C, C equals 0. Everything is set equal to 0, remember that. And then the right-hand side, I would say C minus 1 equals 0. So obviously this side, the left-hand side, I have no work to do. There's nothing left to do because C equals 0, that's it. The right-hand side, I simply need to just add the 1, so C equals 1. Two answers will be 0 and positive 1. Woo, terrific. Thank you. I'm going to clear this. Okay, so here I can see it's an easy situation, so I can go ahead and use the opposites. So opposite of 7 is negative 7. Oops. This would be negative 7. And then my next answer would be a negative 3. Okay, here's another case. You know, I just want to work it out again for you guys. I'm going to draw it way down below. So you would say, okay, so h equals 0. There's nothing else to do there because it's already solved for. And then you would say h minus 2 equals 0. So then you would say, you would add the 2 over, so h equals 2. Voila. So it'd be 0 and 2. All right. Keep it up. I sure will. So you may get faster and you'd be like, hey, this is just 0. When you just see a variable by itself, yeah, that answer's 0. And the other one would be the negative, or the opposite, excuse me. So that would be negative 2. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so let's clear this. Actually, no, I'm just going to use the eraser tool because I like my line there. So if I were to branch off here, my left-hand side would be s equals 0. So a lone coefficient or lone variable is really nice and easy. Embrace it. The right-hand side, I'd say 3s minus 4 equals 0. So that would be 3s equals 4. So that would be s equals 4/3. Okay. So s is 0 and then 4/3. I'll take it, I'll take it. So we're going to jump ahead, guys. Next level, they give me the same problem. Fine, I can't resist a free, easy one. 0 and negative 7. Oh, I can't resist it. 0 and negative 3. I just can't even resist these 3 points. I'm going to jump ahead. Let's see how hard these get. What? These don't even get that hard. Let me clear this. This would be 9 and negative 5. Oh, guys, you're so welcome for having a fun one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show my work on this one because, yes, this one got a little harder. All right, so there's my little breaking it off. So 4t plus 9 equals 0. And then 4t minus 9 equals 0. Oh, excuse me, minus 5. Ooh, make sure you write the problem down right. Okay, so this would be 4t equals negative 9. And then that would be, I divide by 4, so t equals negative 9 over 4. Okay, so then this side would be 4t equals 5. So then t equals 5 over 4, because I would divide by a 4. All right, let's plug this in. So negative 9 over 4, and then this would be 5 over 4. Submit. Thank you. Okay, let me just erase. Boom, boom. Okay, so let's go ahead and branch off this one. Don't be fooled by the 2j here. That actually still comes out very nice. 2j is 0. And then I would say j plus 2 is 0. All right, so if I divided by 2 here, this would be j equals 0 over 2. Now, guys, 0 over anything is just a 0. I'm going to put an exclamation point there. And then this one would be, just subtract the 2. This would be j equals negative 2. So even though there was a 2 there, because it's just a variable being multiplied, no adding or subtracting, it's still 0. So still take it as a nice freebie. So it'd be 0 and negative 2. Okay, so for example, guys, that's a 9u. So 9u equals 0. That would have to be a 0. And then this would be a negative 6. Ooh, I'll take it. Even though it's a negative's not going to affect a 0. So that's still a 0. And this would be a negative 7. All right, guys, I'm going to stop it here and let you go ahead and knock this one out. Enjoy it. Email me with questions. I'm proud of you for working so hard. You're almost there, and I miss you all. Bye.